Performing prayer during sickness. Learning objectives. Assalamu alaikum, my friends. Welcome to a new lesson from the Lessons of Islamic Jurisprudence. This lesson is about performing prayer during sickness. What is prayer of the sick? What is its ruling and its regulations? And what are its conditions? Follow along as I explain in this lesson. Islam takes into consideration the circumstances and abilities of individuals, not burdening them with tasks they cannot handle. Instead, it eases their obligations, providing relief in various situations, including illness. As a result, prayer of the sick has been prescribed for them. Illness doesn't prevent one from performing prayer as long as the mind is present. It is necessary for the patient to pray according to their ability and to purify themselves with water if they are capable of doing so. You might ask, how can a sick person perform wudu for prayer if they can't use water? If the patient is unable to use water, they can perform ablution with sand and pray. They should also cleanse any impurities from their body and clothing before prayer, or change into clean clothes if they are not pure. Tayammum or dry ablution is a type of purification that serves as an alternative to ablution or washing when water is not available or cannot be used due to illness or other reasons. Allah Almighty has ordained tayammum as a source of ease for Muslims during hard times like sickness. Allah Almighty said in the Holy Quran, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, Allah intends ease for you, not hardship. Prayer is obligatory for every accountable Muslim, and it's not excused because of illness. Instead, prayer can be modified according to the individual's condition and ability. Allah Almighty said in the Holy Quran, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, Allah does not require any soul more than what it can afford. All good will be for its own benefit, and all evil will be to its own loss. So we learn that prayer is not excused for the sick. It is lightened for them, so that it is obligatory in a way that they are able to perform. The patient prays according to their ability. If they are unable to stand for prayer because of their illness, they pray while sitting and complete the ruku' and sujood. But have you thought about how the sick person can pray if he is unable to kneel and prostrate? If the patient is unable to kneel and prostrate, they should kneel and prostrate while sitting and make their prostration movement lower than their kneeling movement. However, my friends, the patient may also be unable to stand in prayer. What should they do in this case? Do you think that prayer will be excused for them? Of course not. Like we said, prayer is not exempt for anyone, even if they are sick. If a person is unable to sit during their prayer, Allah Almighty has allowed them to lie on their back with their feet facing the Qibla. They should place a pillow under their head so that their face is towards the Qibla, and they can indicate the prayer movements with their head. They should make their prostration lower than their bowing. They can pray on their right or left side and face the Qibla if that is easier for them, and nod their head when they bow or prostrate. Narrated by Imran bin Hussein, who said, I was sick, so I asked the Prophet, peace be upon him, about prayer. He said, pray while standing, and if you can't, pray while sitting, and if you cannot do even that, then pray lying on your side. So, my friends, is it permissible for a sick person to combine prayers for the sake of ease? Yes, it is permissible to combine two prayers for the sick if it is difficult for them to perform the prayer on time. Allah Almighty has allowed them to combine prayers by praying Dhuhr and Asr together at the time of one of them, and Maghrib and Isha together at the time of one of them. This can be done by either combining them in advance or delaying one of them. If the patient prays in the mosque on a chair, it is preferred that they pray on the right or left side, or at the back rows. They must place the front legs of the chair with the row. If there are people behind him, they should place the back legs of the chair with the row, so as not to harm those praying behind them. Note the considerations of the Islamic legislations, which has not left an aspect of our lives untouched without a solution or clarification. And now, my friends, we have reached the end of the lesson about perform prayer during sickness. And we learned that Islam considers the well-being and abilities of individuals. It does not burden them with tasks beyond their capabilities, instead makes things easier for them. This includes easing their burdens in various situations, such as illnesses. Hence, prayer can be performed differently. Illness does not exempt prayer as long as the patient has the mental capacity. Prayer is obligatory for them even if they are unable to perform oblation or physical movements. The sick person should pray according to their ability. If the patient is unable to use water, they can perform dry oblation, using sand in proceeding with prayer. They should also cleanse any impurities from their body and clothes before praying or change into clean clothes if necessary. We also learned that tayammum is a form of purification that serves as an alternative to oblation or bathing when water is not available or cannot be used due to illness or other reasons. A sick person should pray to the best of their ability. If they are unable to stand during prayer because of their illness, they can pray while sitting and complete the bowing and prostration positions. If the patient is unable to perform the bowing and prostration positions, they can still pray while sitting. They can make their prostration lower than their bowing position. And we learn that Allah Almighty permits them to lie on their back with their feet facing the Qibla. They must place a pillow under their head so that their face is towards the Qibla while moving their head. Then they should make their prostration lower than their bowing. They can pray on the right or left side facing the Qibla if it is easier for them, while nodding their head when bowing and prostrating. It is permissible for the patient to combine two prayers if it is difficult for them to perform the prayer on time. They can do that by either combining them in advance or combining them later.